Hopefully that other one works. Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of background noise too, right?
I know. Yeah, that's okay.
What would be a good area to volunteer to gain experience in the next few years to be more a person?
I would say just look into whatever local places wherever you live, kind of closest attachment. May or may not, but they might have opportunities to either volunteer or, depending on your age, I know in Langley they have like a summer camps, those types of things for young people. So anything like that, anything or opportunities like that might be a good experience. And then once you get a bit older, there's programs like auxiliary programs, or like for myself, I was in the Abbotsford Reserve program. So it's volunteer based, but it's a good experience and it looks really good on your resume if you want to get into it.
How do you feel when you go to a
Depends on the crime. I mean, sometimes, a lot of times we don't know exactly what we're getting into. But once you've done the job long enough, you kind of get a pretty good idea. But sometimes you get your surprise, right? Because sometimes the calls come in and they're not quite what they sound like. So, I guess, to answer the question, usually I'm pretty confident that whatever it is, I'm going to be able to handle it. But you also have to be, cautious and concerned for your, safety, depending on what it is. So.
Yeah, because we had a police officer come to our house because it was about like the guy was videotaping us for like an hour, but we had them to come to our house, and I asked him a few questions, and he had like something where he got called in and he was alone, and then he went to a abandoned, it looked like a house, and it was all dark and everything, so he had his flashlight like this, and then they apparently got another phone call from that exact location, and he saw a phone on the ground that was dislocated, which is it was really freaky, but he just ran out of there after. That was a cool, I like that. What do you get called out to do the most?
Why I work in White Rock, we get a lot of property crimes, so we get a lot of theft from auto, they're called. So someone breaks into a car and steals, if people leave stuff in their car, steal whatever is in there, usually cell phones, wallets, or purses, or anything of value. There's a lot of that.
You guys do go together.
Well, number one, we usually recommend it to people who have it done, don't leave valuables in plain sight here. If any of the stuff that's stolen is like a serial number that they know of, like let's say the phone or GPS or some of the things, they actually have serial numbers. So we'll take note of those and they'll go get entered onto our system. So if it gets recovered days, weeks, months later, we'll be able to get them back to the owner and possibly charge whoever has them with that stolen property.
Okay. What do you do when you're called? What do you do when you are not called out for something like just wandering around?
Well, we every time we get called out for service, a file is generated. So there's a specific number associated with that file. Some of the files we are able to go to the call and basically write up a synopsis for that file, and there's no further action required, and it'll be concluded. Like if it was like assisting EHS or the fire department with kind of doing traffic or something. There's a motor vehicle incident, like an accident. Once that's done and we're cleared from there, we don't have to do anything else with that, typically, but there are other files that require investigation. So those will be files that are still under investigation or SUI. So when we're not busy, typically I will have between 10 and 30 files in my queue at work. So then I'll go to my computer and I'll see a list of all these files that still have work to be done. So typically we'll work on those. And then the other, or we can do something like go out and be proactive by...
Do you sometimes just drive around looking for people who are speeding?
Yep. Yeah, so we'll do traffic enforcement or we'll go to places that we know.
Probably get a lot of those.
We can do that as well. It depends on the day and how much work we have like on our files and how important they are. Some we have to do a lot of work really quickly. So we just kind of gauge it and make it up as we go.